excited because we have Dan Cornwell here today. How did it start for you? It says on your profile roughly 40 plus 43 years in the roofing industry.
Yeah, no, it's actually 47. I spent 4 years before I started my business. So at the wild age of 18, I was looking for a position as a carpenter, because that's what my dad did, and I'd worked for him when I was young. There was a roofing position that was open, so I applied for it. It was tile roofing, and I got a job, hired as a laborer, basically.
What made you want to go off on your own?
It was kind of interesting. I was actually put into business. We came back, we worked for a company, again, specializing in tile roofing. That's what we did. We came in to get our 2-week paychecks, and they said there's no paychecks. They tried to build a tile plant of their own, and they failed miserably. And they said, hey, we can't afford to pay you anymore. If you would like to become subcontractors, then we don't have to pay workers' comp on you, which it was a big deal. 2 weeks short on pay. Went down the street to the roofing contractors that I knew in the tile plant where I started out, which were both people that my current boss was working with on occasion, and said, hey, we're going to be subcontractors. And automatically we got hired on and started working independently. Then said, hey, we're not going to help you with your legal issues, your license and bond, if you're working for these other two people. So went to my nephew who'd had gotten an insurance settlement. I was the only person I knew that had any money, because he got hit driving a tractor after haying out in the country, and he put $1,200 into the non-existent company, and we got a license and bond, and there we went.
You've seen a lot, so people must come to you for advice. What do you tell them?
I have young contractors that ask me for advice, and then I have mostly, when I give people advice, it's about roofing systems that they're considering putting on or designing. I certainly have gained a lot of knowledge by being involved in a lot of things that were, I guess, extracurricular. I think that when you give to your association without expecting anything in return, the karma comes around and gives you stuff back.
Do you have any hobbies outside of those projects that you're working on?
Yeah, I'm a musician, and up until the pandemic, I had a fairly active band that we went out and gigged. I play blues harmonica and guitar. Generally, my band is kind of a blues-based, also rock band, I guess I'd say.
You being in the roofing industry so long, what would you say to someone that's considering going into the roofing industry for many different roles? Like, what would you tell the individual that's considering?
Well, I'm going to tell you that the roofing industry is a tough game, and unfortunately, a lot of people who start in the roofing industry basically are trapped in the industry, don't want to do it. It's a young man's game, really, because with the exception of very high-end specialty products. So you need to be a young guy, you need to be very physically fit, and you need to be able to work long, hard hours doing hard work. It's a competitive game, and unfortunately, a lot of those guys who start into business base their pricing on what the guy down the street is charging and try to do it for a nickel cheaper. I'd say to figure out what it costs you to be in business and base your prices on what it costs you to make a profit, and don't try to take over the world by being the largest roofing contractor ever. You're better off to do a decent volume of work at a good profit margin, at a fair price, and offer quality to your customers than you are to try to take over the world. Because I've seen a lot of guys that were going to come in and just we're going to be cheaper than everybody else, and we're going to make, well, my little joke is we lose a little bit on every job, but we make it up in volume. I mean, just watch thousands of roofing contractors come and go that were, going to be the biggest and the cheapest. You can't be both.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice is, become an electrician.